by site-based leadership, just getting you up on your feet for a second in an exercise. We all know that health is very important, so now you're going to get a chance to demonstrate your agreement on that.
Thank you, Bill, and I'm glad to be here sharing my experiences with you. I'm a personal trainer, as Bill said. I do a lot of work with rehab. I don't only do rehab, I also work with athletes and all sorts of people. I'm very lucky that I enjoy my job so much, and the reason I enjoy my job so much is that I'm always learning. It's an extremely satisfying thing to do, and the fact that the learning happens with other people makes it really special for me. So it's quite a wonderful thing. So what Bill has just described, what Bill has just described is exactly what I do. It's exactly that, sideways leadership. Right? The thing that we deal with physically all the time, and it seems that we have to deal with it more as we get older, is gravity. Right? Yeah. How is it that the body deals with gravity? How is it? How is it that we're able to just, how can I just stand up like this? If I was completely unconscious, right, it would take at least half a dozen of you to prop me up like this. Yeah? As a dead weight. So it's really quite extraordinary that I can stand here with almost no effort at all. How is it that our bodies have worked out how to do that with so little effort?
Is it balance?
Is it balance? Is a tree working hard to balance? No? Am I working hard to balance? It doesn't feel like it. Conditioning? But old people can stand up, and they're not necessarily unfit, but they're not necessarily deconditioned. Is it? But a toddler who can stand up is about as loose and floppy as a person can physically get, and they manage it. So that's not conditioning. How is it? Is it learned? You pretty much buggered if you don't learn to do it. But yes, it's a learned thing. If you've had a really bad accident, you'll have to learn to walk again. And that can be really, really hard. People who've had a stroke can learn to reuse their limb if they lose the use of that limb. But that's extremely hard because the way they used to no longer works. You have to work out a new way of doing it. And that is extremely challenging. My body moves forwards. To get my arm up, I can move forwards. It also does the same thing sideways, right? And I can move my hips from side to side. I can move my hips forwards. How is it that I would get down? If I wanted to squat down or kneel down on one knee, how do I physically get down? Bend my knees. Yep. In which direction are my knees going to bend relative to gravity? Gravity's going this way, so my knees are going to go that way. My hips will go the other way, sideways. Okay? By moving on a different plane to gravity, I can just go down and back up. Yep? My knees go forward, my hips go back, and I can go down and up. I'm not sucking my legs up into my nethers. Right? I'm not telescoping and going back up. So any movement at all that I do upwards against gravity is a matter of forwards and backwards movement. Okay? So the way we deal with gravity is side on. Yeah? I'm dealing with gravity coming back to balancing. I'm balancing now just by kind of doing as little as possible to fight gravity. So I stack myself up. Right? A dog, if it wants to walk, it wriggles its bum from side to side, and that's how it gets one leg in front of the other. Right? Me, I just tip myself in whatever direction I like, and off I go. Right? So we are uniquely mobile. Right? I'm not as steady on my feet as a dog, but I can change direction just like that, and the dog has to go around. Right? So one of the reasons we're on the top of the food chain is because we are inherently unstable. Right? That makes us amazingly mobile. So, how is it that I teach people to deal with gravity? Well, I teach them not to fight it. Yeah? Because fighting gravity is doomed to failure. Right? Not the least of the fact that I'm about 70% water, and water likes to follow the path of least resistance. Okay? I can't use the other 30% of me to push the 70% against. It doesn't work. So, I'm going to give you a quick physical demonstration, and I'm going to give you a physical metaphor for understanding that fighting a force directly is not the way we are designed to most effectively deal with that force. Right? Let's stand up, find a button. Okay. One of you is going to give yourself enough space to just reach out like this. Arms full length, palms down. Like so. Like that. And the other one is going to put your hands on top of their hands and push down. With the person with your arms out straight, I just want you to resist that push. And push firmly, push the hands down, let's try and resist it. Hang on a second, hang on. I didn't say anything about, we're talking about come on, body for a second. We're talking in terms of gravity, right? Gravity is a potential ally, but it's not your friend. Right? It's not your friend. So, arms out for me, please. Okay, he's going to try and resist me. I'm not interested in him resisting me. I'm just going to push his arms down. Okay? So don't play fair. Don't do it like this. The arms are out. You're just going to push them down. You try and resist me though. Try and resist. Watch what happens when he tries to resist me. There's two